Okay, now we've recorded our data. We want to be able to analyze it, and we're going to do the same thing that we did last week when we analyzed our data, which is namely, we're going to be looking for a region of data that's relatively flat. So if you look in here, we can see that if I kind of pick a few data points out, it looks relatively flat in here. Sure, there's an occasional little dip, and there may be a little spike. That's just the nature of taking the data. What I'm looking for is a set of data that's relatively consistent with each other. Now, since I did the lowest location on the ramp, I have the slowest velocity here. And when you go higher up the ramp, you'll see this number become a little bit bigger below the line. And so just like we did last time, I'm going to select the data where I want to start. I'm going to left click, and I'm going to drag to where I want to end, and that region looks pretty good to me. It's pretty flat. And then it'll expand in, and again, I can see in here that, yeah, there's these little dip here, but on average, there's a lot of data points that are around the same value. So then I click on data analysis. And again, it's this mean value that I'm interested in. In my case, it says negative 0.462. Remember, that's in meters per second. Now, it's negative because of the way I hooked up the car sensor to the car. It was actually pointed forward, and if you remember last week, I had you point it backwards. The fact that it's pointed forward means that I will be recording negative velocities. It's not a problem. The number itself is right, and that's what we're interested in. So when you record your value, just record them as if they were positive. This has to do with my choice of the way I had my sensor attached and doesn't change the physical value of this, which is namely that the speed of the car, which doesn't have a sign associated with it, is going to be equal to 0.462 in this particular case. So you're going to do 3 trials for each car, for each height, and you're going to do 3 heights. So you're going to require a total of 9 different velocities. You're going to take the average of velocities, so you're going to say pick the lowest height, and then you're going to have the car go down 3 times, record those 3 velocities, and then you're going to average them together. And then again, you're going to do it at the medium height, and you're going to do it at the top height. You're then going to be able to calculate the kinetic energy from that and compare it in a couple of different ways to whether it matters I want to measure the distance down the ramp or whether I want to measure the height from the ground to where the car is going. So that's how the rest of the experiment will work. Don't forget when you're done, when you have done your very last velocity and you're happy with the data, to save your last velocity run so that your professor can take a look at your data and grade it.